Hey, Avs fans, this episode is brought to you in part by MyBookie. Now, I know this is a hockey podcast, but the Super Bowl is in about a week, and if you're like me, you're going to want to get your football gambling fix in before it's too late. Will Mahomes and the Chiefs take home the trophy, or will Jimmy Gorgeous and the 49ers ruin the party? I'm sure you have a feeling in your gut, so why not put some money down and try to make some money off of it? Football not your thing? Well, the NHL is back in full swing, so there's still plenty of places to put your money down right now. MyBookie is already one of the most trusted and reputable sports books in the industry and still has the best payouts and better odds than any other sports book going. If you join now, MyBookie will match your deposit with a 50% bonus all the way up to $1,000. That means an extra $50 of free money if you deposit $100, deposit $200, get an extra $100. You know the deal. Just use the promo code THPN to activate the offer and take advantage of this. You can risk a little or you can risk a lot on as many games as you want. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. Also, don't forget to check out the Hockey Podcast Network's newest affiliate, NHLShop.com. That's right, the official NHL merchandise page. Right now, they're giving 20% off orders over $25 with code NHLICE25. Also, if you use our link that we're going to tweet out after this episode, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network. The Hockey Podcast Network has also joined forces with Puffy Mattresses. They're not just any bed-in-a-bag company. These are America's most comfortable mattress, and right now you can get $300 off a new mattress plus a free king-size pillow. Plus, they offer a 101-night sleep trial, so if you're not satisfied with the mattress, you can return it no problem. Also, if you use our link, just like NHLShop.com, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network. Last but not least today, we have a fantastic deal from Reebok. Reebok is offering an extra 50% off if you use the code GETDOWN, no spaces. This would be a perfect time to get yourself some new workout gear, maybe some UFC fight merch. Whatever you're looking for, this code will save you some money. Also, same as with Puffy and NHL Shop, if you shop through our link, which we will tweet after the episode, you can help support us and the Hockey Podcast Network. Again, thanks for tuning in to our growing network of podcasts, and we hope you enjoy our episode.
This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. Hello, Avs fans, and welcome to another edition of the Offside by a Mile podcast. Jared and myself, Tyler, are in studio, as usual.
Yeah, what's up?
Bit of a quiet episode today, kind of typical for the All Star break, as we kind of were expecting from last episode.
The long drought.
Can't spend 45 minutes talking about one game this time. It's going to be rough.
Unfortunately.
Means we can get to some other stuff for once, including what was the All Star game and the skills competition.
And all the festivities surrounding that, yeah. St. Louis did a good job hosting. It was pretty.
Yeah, I think they nailed the
decent
hosting.
event.
I think they nailed the hosting job. We kind of were watching and talking about the skills competition on Friday on our other podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really, really underwhelmed by the skills competition this year.
Oh, 100%. Me too. It just seemed like meh. Like
that, and I understand a lot of fans may not feel the same as I do, because apparently people like that stupid shooting stars competition.
Yeah.
I clearly didn't.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Like it was cool because they're in the stands. I think, it's kind of like a little bit more fan engagement. They're like coming up the stairs and like, oh, high fives. Yeah.
It's probably cool unless you're the people underneath that frickin' protective netting.
Yeah.
Like,
hopefully you're not like claustrophobic.
It's like staring up behind you, like, oh, this is cool. I gotta watch the puck sail over my head. Wow.
Yeah.
I also thought it was weird how they did with the Bernie Federico or whatever his name was.
Oh yeah, right.
Where he came out with Pietrangelo to do the accuracy shooting and then just like passed in the puck a couple times.
Right.
Very weird, especially considering that 5 minutes later you had Al McInnes come out and rocket a slap shot at the net during the hardest shot.
Oh my God, what a legend, ladies and gents.
And like to me that was pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Getting Gretzky to start the show off was cool. Getting Brett Hull to rip off one of the shooting star shots, which missed by a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't really blame the guy. Like,
I mean, right.
Pretty much every single one of the competitors in that shooting stars competition used their first shot as like a tester.
Yeah, like a gauge shot. Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Brett was saying before we recorded that they were real pucks. They were just orange. I don't buy that. First of all, watching the puck sail. Most guys can't do that. I understand they were really high and stuff. Like they had a lot of loft to begin with. But the way they floated, the way they spun and turned in the air, like I can tell you from experience, the pucks move once in a while. Like if you got a long shot, like long slap shot dump in, it'll move. It's not going to move 10 feet though.
Yeah, who knows really.
It's also not going to bounce like it did. It's also not going to be able to get stopped by a photographer with its bare hand.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that one.
I don't think. I mean, just putting that one out there, the way it bounced off Binnington's pads and shit all the time. I don't know, man. Regardless, though, I thought it was a terrible event.
Like, I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. I just feel like the execution was terrible, which is kind of common with first try things. You know, it's like what the fuck do they think?
It's not even common with first try things. It's common with the NHL in general.
Yeah.
Why was the biggest target that was dead center worth the most points?
That's exactly what I'm wondering too. And it's like because the net at the far end was 4 points. I'm like, dude, why the hell is that not 10 points? And why is everyone not shooting for the far net? Like, come on, man, that'd be way more interesting.
Yeah.
Who can fire one in the stands all the way across the rink into a net? Because like. Someone did. I think it was
somebody
Kane or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I think it might have been Kane. No, I don't think it was Kane. I think it was who was it? No, I don't remember. Maybe Pietrangelo?
Yeah.
No, not Petr. He wasn't up there.
Might have been
O'Reilly?
Pasternak or O'Reilly or something. I don't know. But anyways, it was kind of weird. And like it was funny the way that the middle 10-point target had like the net
arches.
Was only at the front, so like if you miss and like hit the target, still, it was like nah, you didn't get it in the net.
Yeah,
so
like Mitch Marner's on in the overtime,
right?
Thing, where it like
off like the post.
It looked like it smashed it dead center in the 10, and you're like, how did that not count? And then you watch the replay and you're like, oh, it dropped. But then the same thing, right? Like you said, it was the St. Louis arch, obviously. Why was it a double arch? They could have just put the arch in the front and then nothing in the back with like a board.
Yeah.
But they had like two arches. Whatever.
The
NHL
engineers, man,
killing it as usual. As usual, the female aspect of the All Star Skills competition was the best part.
That was really cool, man. Like
that game was awesome.
That was epic, actually.
Yeah.
Like the Canadian goalie, man.
Yeah,
she was
good.
killing it. Making some crazy saves. Yeah, in the first half,
period,
I guess. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I thought the game was great. I thought it was. I mean, if you've been around on Twitter all weekend now, since then, man, the amount of support they're getting is fantastic. Hopefully, something comes of this. I know lots of people are asking for the NHL to create a women's league. Gary Bettman was on for us on the Canadian side of the broadcast. Gary Bettman was on with Ron McLean.
Yeah,
and Ron kind of broached the subject with is the NHL going to try this? And Gary just kind of shoved it off like this is too much for this interview, kind of thing.
Right.
It's a very
in classic Gary Bettman fashion.
Yeah, but at the same time, like he's not wrong.
Well, yeah, for sure.
There's a lot that goes into making a league. There's a lot that goes into making one new team, man.
Right.
Never mind making a full league of 10 or something, like whatever it ends up being.
Which it would probably be something like that.
You'd
8
have
or
to
10
be,
teams,
yeah,
right?
Never mind the logistics and all that stuff, and actually if you can make money or if you can not
lose
too much money or whatever.
That's a big deal
undertaking
if like the NHL gets in on that. Which, I mean, at least they're doing something for just exposure, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And like that was a really good way to do it. Like that's probably opening a lot of people's eyes, right? Like, because that was intense. That was intense hockey, man.
It was intense, and we talked about it. We joked about it. Why they didn't flood the ice before that?
Oh, yeah, and then they flooded after, right? And we were like saying the whole time, like, "Oh, watch them not flood it." Like,
they're not going to flood it, but then we're like, "Oh, if they don't flood it for the game, they're just not going to flood it." Period. No. They flood it for the hardest shot.
Yeah,
and for the shooting star,
for the most pointless friggin' ones.
Yeah, like a slap shot. It's just like a stationary puck that just leaves the ice, right? Like you literally don't need clean ice for this.
Yeah, literally, they definitely should have flooded before. And then all they had to do for the hardest shot and everything, just take a friggin' shovel out there, dude.
You could have literally shoveled it. You could have done nothing, too.
Three scoops of a shovel, dude. Get the...
Remember the old way where they literally just did the front of the net?
Yeah,
that's all you needed.
Get a friggin' mascot out there.
Yeah.
Shovel the ice, man. That's all you had to do. And then the other event, they're not even on the ice.
Yeah.
Come on.
What a weird choice of...
It worked out, though,
What a weird move. And it's like, oh, man, they had to save their money on all that water. Cool.
That's why they did it, man.
But yeah, so very odd. It's the NHL. They always do odd things.
Yeah.
What pissed me off was my favorite event got taken out of rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying that. And I agree, too.
The passing one. I understand... As a entertainment value across the board, it may not be the best event, but I liked it because it was actually challenging to the players. Not very many of these things are legitimately challenging. Skating as fast as you can, not challenging. Look at our boy Nathan MacKinnon. Didn't even give a damn.
Yeah.
It looked like honestly. And as we all know, I would rather see Nathan MacKinnon put in half effort at the All Star game and the skills competition than watch him get hurt at the All Star game or the skills competition.
100%.
I'd rather see Nathan MacKinnon barely put any effort in, skating a lap, than fall down like Heiskanen did last year.
Oh, right. Because
100% of the time.
Who knows
every
what the
time.
hell happens after that?
But that's not challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrist shots are barely challenging, especially when the board doesn't work.
Yeah, you can hit the post and then the top right target falls.
Yeah, you can hit halfway up on the post, quote unquote.
I mean, I totally agree. That's why I feel like the skills competition was just bland for me because it was
so gimmicky this year. So gimmicky.
You're right. Barely any challenges for a player.
Yeah.
What's the challenge here?
Right, and I don't get it. I understand players probably don't want to look bad. That passing drill one, there was points where you got made look bad. Wow, I can't. That wasn't even good English. I waited and tried.
But
the passing drill made players look bad. Wow.
Yeah, but I think do you think that was a concern? I know you could tell players didn't really when they were struggling, Doughty.
But if you crushed it, you were like, hell yeah, I crushed this.
Well, and that's intense, dude. I don't really know why they took that out, and in a way, it's the same with the puck handling drill. And dude, who doesn't want to see that? Is it just because Johnny's not there? Everyone's like, well, scrap it.
The best part of that, even then, but Patrick Kane, probably the best puck handler ever. But I also found it really funny was that after the skills competition, the Connor McDavid tweet went out where he was challenging people to his little figure eight, charity drill thing.
Right.
And it's just people are going to watch this crap on Twitter, and he's literally just doing it. There was a whole drill in the skills competition for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And gone. I understand with adding a entire game of hockey in the middle, some things had to come out.
Right, yeah, I guess.
And then we were kind of chatting, why the hell did they take away those two drills? And your thought was maybe it was a setup issue, the fact that there was so much setup.
Right, that was about halfway through. I said that.
And then you see the shooting star thing, and you're like, I guess it wasn't that.
They just set up a friggin' driving range out there, so I guess they're not worried about setup.
Set up a driving range.
It's a fucking platform up in the...
Yeah, pulled the protective netting around the corner.
Yeah, how much work was that?
Put this new black protective netting over the fans.
Right.
Just what a ridiculous setup for that event. I don't know, man. It was very odd. It was I don't know, but again, in my opinion, and again, if we go back to the accuracy shooting one, I don't know if anybody saw the tweet from Strombone, Mr. Roberto Luongo, and where he says, "Hey guys, I know, crazy thought. How about we go back to foam targets next year?"
Oh, what?
Mind
blown.
Yeah.
Because technology works perfectly
every time.
every time. No problem.
Man, the NHL has such a good record with technology. It's just like, man, they might as well just throw more technology at it next year.
Every single All-Star skills comp lately, always technical difficulties of some kind of LED target, whatever, like,
Maybe,
oh my God.
Maybe you just don't use them.
It's like just such a gimmick, like, I don't know, nice showmanship. Look at our fancy screen net that doesn't work properly.
Screen box. It wasn't even a net.
It's just so funny. Like, who was it that hit the post and it breaks?
I pretty much turned it
remember.
off. I stopped watching it, the accuracy portion.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, the skills competition was mediocre at best, in my opinion. I think some people liked it because we saw on Twitter that some people really liked the Shooting Stars competition.
Like,
the players seemed to enjoy it. The players really
cool.
seemed to have a good time.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that the Kachucks were both there.
Yeah, that was sick.
They sucked at it, but they were
At
both
that
there.
competition, yeah. And then they faced off in the game.
Yeah,
That
which was
fun.
good. But yeah, and then on to the game portion on Saturday night. Personally, I think that's the best All-Star game in years.
It was like I didn't see the final, but
It was good.
like the first two rounds, like in the way it it's kind of gotten more I don't know, competitive, I guess. Like, I feel like players are putting in a little bit more effort in this 3-on-3, which is crazy. 3-on-3 came in like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's 4. I know. They said this was the fourth season, and I was like, what?
4 seasons of this already? That's crazy. I didn't realize that. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's kind of cool, and just because once you get to like the old 5-on-5 All-Star games, once it kind of drained out, I guess, like, 4 or 5, like 5 years ago, it got real boring.
Yeah.
And then, like, players are just kind of like taking breakaways, and everyone's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, you might as well put it 3-on-3, so like there's gonna be breakaways anyway.
Yeah.
And plus, players can kind of look like they're trying.
I thought it was really good. I thought the goalies were really good.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe the Metro. Or sorry, not the Metro, the Central.
I was gonna say, because Hellebuck struggled.
Hellebuck struggled. Binnington
owned.
honestly wasn't like he made
He actually had some good saves.
yeah, his first like 4 saves were
Yeah.
unreal, and then
Yeah.
it just kind of went sideways. But again, I'm not super concerned at who won. Like, McKinnon had that breakaway, got stopped, whatever.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's also the thing, and like, it's funny because we were talking about before the All-Star game about there being a lot of hometown players, and I've
They got
seen a
smoked.
lot of tweets about like, oh yeah, just keep throwing out all the St. Louis players because they're winning the game for us and stuff, like. But it's like, go figure, right?
They
Oh,
literally just rolled the lines, guys. That's
yeah, and like,
notice how
it happens.
Matt Tkachuk went out every single time McDavid's line came off. That's why. First of all, that was hilarious watching
Oh,
Tkachuk
it
make
was.
that unreal pass to Draisaitl and then just skating away from him after he scored.
Yeah,
And then the fuck you, read Draisaitl's lips thing on Twitter. That was hilarious.
I also like it because before the All-Star game and like post Battle of Alberta, most recent one, obviously, they asked Draisaitl, if you get put on the same line as Matthew Tkachuk, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna skate off the ice,
Yeah.
or something.
And then he just
And then
scores.
the best tweet was classic Oilers player, all talk no action. It's like, yeah, you played with the Draisaitl and you liked it.
Yeah.
You liked it.
But
Matthew
yeah,
Tkachuk
so
looked amazing.
it was still fun. Like I enjoyed the first 2 games. The Metro Atlanta game was really solid.
Mm-hmm.
Watching an All-Star game go to the point where you have to pull your goalie to try and tie the game, though, is hilarious. Like,
And they actually, I think that was like halfway through that game. the players like really started going at
Yeah.
it, you know? And I feel like that happens kind of every year now with this 3-on-3, which I like, you know, like.
You were saying that like Giordano after got interviewed and said like he almost blocked shots.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
that intense.
Yeah. Exactly right.
The Pacific ended up winning the final. Freddie Anderson made some unreal saves in the first half of that final.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like it was. I watched the whole thing. I watched from start to finish that All-Star game, and I never would have expected that.
Right.
I also would have never expected Green Day to do what Green Day did.
Oh, I totally forgot about Green Day, dude.
Oh, man.
The Twitterverse was just rocking the Green Day.
Oh.
That was pretty good, dude. I don't really know what to say about that. Billy, what's his name? Billy Joe Armstrong or something?
Something like that.
Something
I'm not
like
a Green
that.
Day
I can't
fan
remember.
by any stretch.
Pretty sure that's it.
I used to listen to Green Day when I was in high school, but that's kind of where they ended.
The old Dookie. That was kind of like my last album I ever listened to them by them. But that was odd. I don't really know what else
Brett
to say.
reminded me of the fact that the NHL signed a deal with Green Day a couple of years ago to be like the official band or whatever.
Okay.
Very weird. Also very NHL style move.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to cost us much. They're kind of a band that people know.
They're kind of
and
iconic and
they're okay.
probably cheaper nowadays.
But just ripping off F-bombs in an arena is and not one.
At the All Star
Not
game.
like he accidentally ripped an F-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
I do on the podcast. No.
The
On purpose, like 4 times.
he knew it. He had an agenda to say,
Let's
put your
fucking go.
fucking hands up in the air.
Yep.
And dude, the best part of it is they change camera angle right to the drummer, and he's just laughing. He's just like, "Hi, yeah, you do it, Billy."
I think it was. I think it
planned.
was. Edited or not edited, bleeped out on American broadcast.
Oh,
But it
really? They
wasn't-
caught it?
Yeah, it wasn't on Canadian broadcasts at all.
Oh yeah, twice in a row.
Yeah,
That was pretty
amazing.
funny, dude. I gotta say.
And the
yeah.
amount of fucks I heard in the skills competition too.
Because they're mic'd up, right?
Yeah.
It's like I remember when Brett Hall's talking to someone. I think it's Petrangelo or something, and he's like saying something. He's like, "Well, I tried to fucking get it." Blah blah. Like,
there was also the funny one. I think in the skills competition during the save streak where Markstrom was mic'd up, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. Oh right. When he gets scored on. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
It was.
'Cause the reason I love it though, like. Swearing is cool, okay? I like it. It's hilarious.
I need to express myself.
What's funny, though, is watching the outrage on Twitter where people are just like, oh, my God, my little Johnny heard that.
Ears.
Little Johnny's never heard a swear in his life, and now, oh, you ruined him.
Like, yeah, and that's also bullshit if you watch hockey because you hear about 10 F-bombs a friggin' broadcast. Let's be true.
I heard I saw a tweet, and it was like, I heard the swear, now I do drugs. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That was probably the most entertaining part. Was after the All-Star game, just looking at Twitter and seeing all the swearing stuff.
That was pretty funny.
Now, speaking of All-Star games, on to the AHL All Star game, which is when is it?
I think it's usually a week after.
Yeah,
I think it's
27th. It is January 27th. So
it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow
or today for everyone listening.
Yeah, I guess Monday. You're right.
Nice All-Star game on a Monday.
That's really weird. Anyway, that's the AHL All-Star game. Our boy, TJ Tynan, who, I mean, this is pretty much a stats pick. I could have picked this one. Oh, look, the leading scorer on the Colorado Eagles is going to the All-Star game.
Yeah, go figure.
You don't say.
Yeah.
But, to be honest, he's leading the team for a reason. He's got, 32 points in 28 games?
Yep. Plus
a lot
11.
of those are assists, though, so...
28
that's
assists.
Pretty crazy.
Assists per game. Pretty good.
Not so bad.
And, I mean, we saw him in the preseason and stuff. Actually, he came up for a short time, didn't he? When we had all the injuries.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
he played
did.
a couple of games. I wonder, actually, I can't remember how
That's
many
why
games,
he's only
2 or
got
3?
28 games played. He also got hurt, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, but so yeah, he's having a pretty solid
Yeah.
season. He's 27-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
almost 28, I guess, in about a month here.
But good for him. Good
Yeah.
for the Avs farm team and all that stuff. Not a whole lot of other content for us on that. But, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's on Monday. It's at 8 p.m., probably right about the same time as some of their NHL games. Not the Avs, though. So if you want to watch some game, well, at least want to watch a prospect, go watch him. I'm sure it'll be very much like the NHL All Star game where people don't really care.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Not going to see a whole lot of TJ Tynan that you haven't seen already.
Mm-hmm.
But good for him. Good for anybody that actually gets to go to that. There's, man, the alumni for the All Star game, the AHL All Star game, you look at some of the names, you're just like, wow. There's been some great players that played in that game.
I can't tell if it's sarcasm.
Rantanen's played in there with
Okay.
Nylander. Like,
There you go.
there's been some really good players playing.
Well, like, that's the thing about the AHL, man. Like,
Well, it's the NHL too, right? With all the young talent that is being brought into the NHL, you're bound. You play in the AHL. You're bound to play in the All Star game. If you're going to be an NHL All Star at 24, you're
Right.
probably an AHL All Star at 21,
right.
right? So it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, like, the Eagles are having a pretty good year, which is good. Third place in the Pacific Division. So, you know.
The thing about that too is, yeah, they may only be third in the Pacific, but think about all the talent that has been up in the big club this year, and they're still third in the Pacific.
Oh, right, exactly. Like, you can tell the depth of the entire, like, organization is definitely thickening up. And, yeah, like, every time players have come up and played for the Avalanche, they've been more than
right
okay.
in.
It's definitely a good situation to have. Like, we were kind of talking about that with Kamenev. Like, he's been looking great, and pretty much that goes for everybody filling in. It's like when Magna came up, even he's having a good season in the A there too, and it's good. It's only good situations to have that. So
Well, and then if we move into the next discussion that we kind of teased on Thursday's episode, the trade front, it's, a little less than a month away. I think actually it might be a month away.
it's right about a month. Yeah, I think it's where we have it.
26th?
Yeah, 26th would be the episode. I'm pretty sure it's on the 25th, right? Because I think so.
Monday 24th February.
Oh, 24th. Monday, 24th February. That's when it is.
So, yeah, we're
So pretty much a month.
barely or just under a month away. We said we were going to talk about it. I still believe, and I've said it before, Chris Kreider, Tyler Toffoli, and if Josh Anderson is legitimately available, I think that's an awesome trade partner too, or trade piece.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to trade for these players, you need a farm system of players that other teams want.
Right.
You may not want to give up on your guys. Like, nobody wants to give up on TJ Tynan. And I say give up as in, like, trade him away.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're willing to trade away a guy, and I'm not saying that you don't believe he's going to be something, but it's just you're trading away a guy going, I think we can do better.
Well, it's like pros and cons, right?
You have to be able to go and say that guy's not going to break out and be a stud.
Right.
Because if you think that and you're trading him, you're nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Or you better be getting something back that you really want.
Yeah. Which Tyler Toffoli and Chris Kreider are not that.
Yeah, I mean, not something to sell the future on. Right?
Josh Anderson.
If we can get someone maybe for, like, second round pick and some kind of decent prospect that's not going to hurt us.
Yeah.
I think everybody's kind of on the same page that we don't think Colorado's going to go out and do anything crazy.
Well, Taylor Hall, right? That Taylor Hall was
the
only crazy guy available.
Yeah, that's for most of, when it comes to crazy circumstances, crazy trades, that's kind of the only guy that's really going to beg that, because everybody else that's possible rental is, most of them are probably getting re-signed.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially like the higher caliber players.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, Kreider to Foley, I'm pretty sure those are going to be sought after of a lot of teams. So it's going to be a competition, and to see, who's going to land that, because I would assume both those players are pretty much gone, especially to Foley. Most likely Kreider's going to be gone too.
I can't imagine why they'd keep either of those guys.
Right. Both those teams are transitioning through their...
That being said, the Rangers look a lot better than I expected.
Right. Exactly.
With Panarin just being an absolute beast.
Which, is something that the Rangers have to think about. But I don't know. They don't really have, in my opinion, much of a shot this year.
I don't either.
So, they're probably going to be building for next year. Which, because they got some damn good building blocks at Panarin, he's freaking lighting it up.
So, out of the 3 players I just talked about, who is your ideal candidate for the Avs to grab?
I said that I'm really high on Kreider. And this is also for my other love team, the Flames. I think he would fit in well with both organizations, Flames or Avalanche, and I guarantee both of them are going to be going for him. The question is price, though, and he's going to be the most expensive out of all of them, possibly. Maybe Anderson, depending on what happens.
Because you're probably getting him to sign.
Well, an age and, possible re-signing.
That's why I think Anderson is like... Anderson for... what's the word? The less rental option, like more of a trade and keep kind of guy.
Right.
Josh Anderson has
not quite rental.
Yeah, he's not really a rental because you're most likely going to be trading for him to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably because he's an RFA at the end of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
Because he was an RFA. So I totally forgot about this whole situation, but he was another one of the RFAs that was unsigned very late in the summer, and I'm sure part of that is a Tortorella issue. I would guess. Like I'm gonna guess he's a young guy that's not a fan of Tortorella.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Science.
Yeah, it's probably a hot take.
But the one thing with Josh Anderson is he's only ever reached a career high of 47. So like, you can't go and sell the farm on a guy like Josh Anderson
or sell someone important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's 25. He's a big boy, 6'3", 222 pounds at the very least.
There's a lot of potential there.
That's. He also scores, so that's.
And I feel like
47 points. That was 27 goals.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
it's just, man, that's exciting. However, he's also got 4 points this year.
Yeah.
He's got 26 games played. He's got a goal and 3 assists.
Yeah. So you never know.
They're not exactly selling high if they do sell.
Right. They can't.
Right. So it's. I honestly don't think he's legitimately on the block. Like I believe he may or may not have actually asked for a trade. Like I believe that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
But whether or not Kekalainen, I think that's Columbus's GM, if he's actively shopping him, I doubt it. It would be incredibly hard to trade a guy for what you believe he's worth with 4 points.
Right. Like you have no don't really have too much power.
Yeah.
And like if you're asking too high, you ain't getting a deal.
No, right? So it's one of those things. Could the Avs get him at a discount because of what he's doing right now? Yeah, maybe.
And maybe it's a case of
needing
a change of scenery.
Does he turn into Tyler Jost or Tyson Jost, where you think that maybe he's underperforming? Because Tyson Jost has been good lately. I'm not one of these people because
there's lots of people on his back. Hey,
I know there's a lot of people that want him out.
Yeah,
and I don't know why.
That's like I've seen a lot of that on Twitter and lots of arguments around that topic. And like we even just kind of were talking about him in the recent episodes here, just because he's kind of woke up.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have necessarily argued with people saying that 2 weeks ago. But like I've seen in argument towards that is the dude is 21.
Yeah.
He's 22 at the end of this season. He's so young still. Like people like to jump on the young players, man. Give him a couple years more. Like but
I don't see why anybody would think that he needs a change of scenery yet. Like
he's fine. He was just going through a pretty big cold block.
Well, but it's not even that. It's not like the dude was a 60-point guy or something.
Well, yeah.
His career high is 26 points. And if
maybe he got drafted higher than he was supposed to, but
regardless, you still need players that aren't going to
Not every first round player turns into a dynamite scorer.
Well, and it's not even just that. It's not. You don't trade him like just because he's a first round pick. You don't just trade him away because he's not living up to what you expected when they drafted him 10th overall.
Right.
Is he still a functional player in the NHL? Yeah. Is he cheap? Yeah. Okay. We'll keep him then.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
it's not like he's hurting us, really.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I've never really been like, Jost, you
I don't
bum.
feel like I've been like, oh, Tyson Jost missed his assignment on the defensive zone and they scored. I don't remember
Right.
saying that.
Yeah, like he hasn't even been a focal point in any real bad play, right? This year. Like I don't even think we've really talked bad too much about
There's
Jost.
12 forwards on your roster. Some of them aren't going to be that impactful.
Yeah.
You can't trade him away because he's not impactful and he's a 10th round pick or 10th overall pick.
Yeah.
He's not getting paid like he's supposed to be better than that. I don't get the rage or the oh my god we got to trade this guy because it's not even like oh man you got to trade him now before his value gets too low.
Yeah, I almost feel like certain Avs fans are just trying to find shit to bitch about because
Maybe.
I don't know, like there's not too much going wrong when it comes to individual players, honestly, on this team. I feel like, right? Like individual production, there's not too much that's like, oh boy, like look at that.
I'd say the one place I would look is Rantanen.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's probably fair.
Right, but it's not like it's not like he's a detriment to the team and he's
Yeah.
like, losing them that many games.
And he's been a lot better lately.
If
too,
we want
right?
like if you want to talk about problems, it's the first line not playing defense. But I don't
Yeah.
think it's Rantanen as a whole. Like I don't think it's that one guy.
right,
Right? Like you were saying, right? I don't think there's one Av that's been a problem.
yeah,
Like the problem. It's kind of the team defense as a whole and
and everyone takes turns having a brain fart.
I've
You
seen
know.
some stuff about the fact that the Avs actually have good defense, which I think is absolutely insane.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great.
I've seen like above average as a comment. It's average at best.
And also, I agree with the comment that the Avs shouldn't go out and find a D just simply because it's going to be way too expensive.
well, yeah, exactly. Because
And-
you wanna upgrade on who?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. What are you trying to get them to pick up? Is it a bottom six? Or I mean, a top six? Is it a top four? Like, cause, like, I just don't see
If you're looking
it.
at a top 4 defenseman, you're paying a lot.
Oh yeah.
You're paying probably one of those prospects, whether it's Timmins or Byram,
Well, oh yeah.
for what?
Right. And like, I don't know how much of an upgrade you could find. Like
The upgrade the Avs need is
Like,
they
who are you
need-
wanting? PK Subban? Like,
He's a bottom 6.
like he's
Potentially
playing like
7.
a bottom 6, right? And like how expensive he even would be, right? He would be a bit expensive.
What the Avs need is they need their best players to be their best players. And that, I mean, Eric Johnson and Nikita Zadorov have to be their best defenseman.
Yeah.
They have to be. That's
Mhm.
period. End of story. Right? And
Because yeah, their partner, which has usually been Johnson, Gerard. I guess they've kind of been shuffling though
It's
with
very shuffled.
Zadorov because it's been Graves, Makar. It's been Makar, Zadorov. It's been
Makar Johnson at
Yeah.
the very start of the year, I believe.
yeah,
Right? So it's just like this is their top 6. Ryan Graves, Cale Makar, Samuel Girard, Eric Johnson, Ian Cole, Zadorov.
it's a pretty good.
There's one guy there that doesn't belong in the top 4, in my opinion. And that's Cole.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
The other
Yeah.
5 guys can play in your top 4.
Yeah.
So what do you want to upgrade? To get somebody that's consistently better than one of those 5 guys, or sorry, 2 of those 5 guys, is going to cost you a crazy amount of prospects and assets.
It's like
That
if
is insane.
it's like if a team came to the Avs and wanted to take even Ian Cole or something. That's not cheap, dude.
not cheap.
That is not cheap. So, and like I would agree
And
that we have a serviceable D.
How many times the D is not where I say the D is a problem.
Right.
It's the forwards. How many
It's
times?
the team defense.
How many times? I'll agree with Bednar. How many times is the first line the problem?
Yeah. It's not infrequent, right? So,
And like we said in the Detroit game on last episode, right?
Yeah.
One goal changes everything.
mhm.
And that's what's been the problem with this team. And getting one new guy and spending an arm and a leg for one new guy is not going to fix anything.
Yeah.
You have to get your best players to be your best players.
Mm-hmm.
And everything fits in perfectly.
I mean, yeah, when those 6 guys are going on the back end,
Honestly,
we're good.
I think the forwards have been missing Donskoy like crazy.
Oh, man, 100%. You really notice his absence, hey? Because, like, he pushes the pace.
He pushes the pace, but it's the Swiss Army knife guy.
Right.
The aspect of him where he can literally play on any line.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does it right.
Yeah.
Whether that's at the defensive end, that's the offensive end, that's in the neutral zone, that's everything.
Yeah, he's probably up there with one of the best two-way players on this team, I would say.
Man, what a ridiculously good signing.
Yeah, totally, man. Like,
so far.
The genius of the Sakic pickups over the offseason.
But again, right, that's partly why Chris Kreider and Tyler Toffoli are so high on our list. Oh, yeah, I never really said – I still believe Tyler Toffoli is my favorite.
Right.
Again, both guys aren't having the greatest year.
But even, like, I was just looking at Toffoli. He's it looks like he's been picking it up lately because he got 27 points.
Yeah.
12 goals. I mean, playing on a crap team like LA this year.
The last month hasn't been great for Toffoli. Like, he's only got 6 points in a month.
Oh, okay.
But again, he's playing on the LA Kings, who suck.
Like those California teams are struggling
like
this
a
year.
lot.
Which is an awkward turn of events, I have to say.
It's nice.
Yeah.
But like I think Tyler Toffoli will be just fine, especially getting back into the playoff atmosphere.
Well,
that
plus,
he hasn't been in for a while.
I feel like his personality would meld pretty well with a lot of the young kind of atmosphere and energy atmosphere that Colorado has. I feel like he would be a good character fit. Yeah.
For sure, right? And so it's like I don't think the Avs could go wrong with either of those guys because again, if you push Matt Nieto or Kamenev out of the lineup, or maybe even Tyson Jost, after Donskoy comes back, right? Like I don't think that's that bad, right?
Well, I think that puts you in a good situation for depth too.
Well, that too, right? Because there's gonna be more injuries.
Obviously,
knock on wood, it's not super crazy bad.
Yeah,
but obviously we've seen this team this year. The injuries have been plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
The Avs have done pretty well. They're still looking great in the standings. Obviously, this isn't new.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't news to anyone. But part of that reason is because their depth, especially up front in the forward category, is so good.
Yeah.
And adding a guy like Tyler Toffoli or Chris Kreider, maybe Josh Anderson even, but I still think he's super low on like just the chance of it happening.
Right.
I think it's great for the value, like the Avs first round pick, if that's what it takes to get Tyler Toffoli. Okay. Like maybe it's a first round pick and then a low level prospect, just a contract in, contract out kind of situation.
Well, I mean,
what's wrong with losing the 25th pick?
I was gonna say, chances are that's going to be at least 23, 24 or higher. So
it's the same argument always, right? It's you don't want to trade your first round pick all the time because then you end up in the situation like Detroit is in where they just have nothing.
Mm-hmm. But we have lots already.
But there's so much talent in the prospect pool for the Avs. Like Alex Newhook, last year's first round pick, right? Like he's killing it this year in college. Killing it. I'm not saying that you're like, oh, he's killing it in college. We don't need to take a first round pick for the next 5 years. But But at the same time, right, adding to your team for the playoff run, man, it shows your players in-house that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And B, if it's that one thing, like if you add that guy and all of a sudden you lose another guy and all of a sudden he steps into that role perfectly, man, you just insured yourself.
Right. It's just that's a good way to put it, is insure yourself.
And
that's really good insurance to have.
I feel like I've rhymed off the chant, like the playoff or the Stanley Cup percentages, and the Avs have been up at the top of the list they've been in the top 5 for like
the
a
whole
month.
year too, almost,
at least,
you know? Especially at the start of the year, they were right up there, obviously.
When they didn't lose.
Yeah.
Right? But the Avs are such contenders. Like St. Louis and the Avs. And
every team around the league knows that we're contenders.
Yeah. It's the Avs and St. Louis, and then who in the West? Because it ain't I'm not saying a Pacific team can't do it,
but they're not
but
projected to.
nobody is going, oh man, that Pacific
The
team
Flames
is scary.
or the Canucks. Oh man.
If the
Stanley Cup.
if the Vegas Golden Knights decide to do what they normally do and just light it up for the next 30 games, I'll be terrified.
Yeah.
But until they do that, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I think they have an unreal team, but they just don't have their poop in a group at this point. Right?
And you know, we've talked about, you know, anything can happen in playoffs.
For sure.
But, you know, if you're looking at the numbers right now.
I'm so excited for hockey to get back going.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night in Philly, right?
Yeah. That'll be a big game.
Huge.
Philly's freaking playing really good hockey lately.
They are.
That's impressive. I definitely
They've got
did not see that
goaltending
coming.
back is
Yeah.
what the key is.
Goaltending back? Did they ever have it?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's been 5 years.
Since Hextall.
I honestly think I saw something about that, and it was like they haven't had a legitimate goalie since Hextall.
Oh, legit. Like,
'Cause, like,
think about it.
They signed Brizgalov out of desperation. They had,
I call him a legit. Just
they
'cause
had
I love him.
Steve Mason for a while.
Yeah,
That
Elliott.
didn't work out.
That was,
Elliott
I guess,
didn't work out.
2 years ago. Actually, that's quite a few
Cam
years
Talbot.
ago.
Man,
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Oh, don't forget Michael Layton.
now.
Got them to a cup final.
Yeah. Imagine
Let
what
in,
they can do with some good goaltending.
Led in the
this
goal
year.
of the decade. Freaking terrible.
Oh, yeah. The goal of the decade, a stupid little 5-hole goal by Patrick Kane.
It wasn't even 5-hole. It was like short side on the ice.
Oh,
'cause
right.
He just like
right.
did the reverse 5-hole or the reverse VH wrong. And it went under the foot part of the ankle part of the pad. And it's just like nobody knew it was in. That's the goal of the decade right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Sure. Sweet. I've seen 10 goals nicer this year.
Yeah. Anyway, we can chirp the NHL's all-decade list, like the all-decade team with Marc-Andre Fleury as the goalie that people are loving.
Are people losing it about that?
Oh, man, so many Hank lovers are just like
Yeah, okay.
all over
I
that
I
one.
can see that.
Which
but-
I think it's a two-horse race. I think it's Marc-Andre Fleury or Henrik Lundqvist. And the only I agree with Fleury
Mhm.
because of the fact that he's got cups and Lundqvist doesn't. And Fleury has unreal numbers. Like
and he's always had good numbers.
It's just really funny to me that people are so mad about it because I'm like, yeah, Fleury's got 3 cups.
And
dude.
like also, why are you so mad? It's a fucking stupid little thing. Like it's not like he gets anything for it or
Yeah.
anything. It's
Oh,
like
man.
who cares? Dude?
Twitter is just such a cesspool
Get so
sometimes.
butthurt about shit like that.
I love Twitter, but I hate Twitter.
Love
I think-
hate. Yeah.
It's normally it's more hate, but like right now when people are just like overly angry about things like swearing on TV, pretty fun place to be.
Yeah.
On that note, you should check out us at Offside by a Mile on Twitter. This week, probably bleeding into next week, there will be another giveaway.
Hell yeah.
Brett is putting it up on the video feed, which is going to be released on our YouTube channel on Tuesday.
Yes, YouTube. Our
So
channel is going to be going here.
Tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Monday. But this week's giveaway is a 2001 Stanley Cup Champs puck, Avalanche, obviously, puck,
Mm-hmm.
with a Patrick Waugh t-shirt. Oh, look at Vanna and his ear. There you go. Nice. Yeah, so same thing as last time. Like the post, retweet the post with 2 friends, all that fun stuff. Follow us on Twitter. You can also follow the Hockey Podcast Network at HockeyPodNet and join in on the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I forgot to touch on is check out Tom's podcast, the Blue Notes Pod,
Mm-hmm.
for a bunch of All Star Media Day sound.
Yeah, Tom the
He
lucky
was there.
bastard got
Yeah,
to.
man, some of his tweets and pictures and stuff. Whew, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
To be at that.
My heart would have been pumping, dude. Yeah.
He like sent a message to our group chat or something and said like, I'll send everybody like their sounds when I'm like chilled out because my head is spinning.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
What a crazy event for a guy like him, especially the fact that it lined up with the Cup champ, like defending Cup champs, is unreal.
Right. Yeah. It couldn't have worked out better.
For some reason, I don't think that's going to be the case for next year, but you never know. Florida may win the Cup this year.
Is that where it is next year? Florida?
Florida.
Florida.
Anyway.
We don't need to, Florida man at the All Star game. Damn it, Florida man.
Oh, man. I hope there's some good Florida man stories. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the episode, and we will catch you on Thursday with some actual hockey game previews. Woo!
Woohoo!
Don't forget to visit us on Twitter at Offside by a Mile to join our conversation and have your voice heard. Also, check out the rest of the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet and thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. You can listen to the podcast there or anywhere you get your podcasts from. The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.